is a lot of concern about security which happens. And since you're in the fintech space, and people are now very, very fast moving to fintech, I mean, digital payments, for example. So now I just wanted to invite you for sharing about the challenges that you face, such challenges in the fintech space, and how do you address these?
Thanks for that, Professor Sumit. So yeah, so I think uh, one interesting thing about fintech space is it's tech led, right? So I think when you have a whole industry which is tech led, unlike a lot of other industries where technology is a function, here the whole business is technology, right? So and I guess it's very similar to say a ed tech or a health tech, which are again very rapidly growing industry. So the boon for fintech has been that it has seen like massive growth during the pandemic. And like I said earlier, it's fueled by the need for consumers to be able to pay digitally in a contactless manner, right? And because they were paranoid about the touch and feel, and despite India being such a cash heavy geography, we have seen a pretty heavy migration to digital payment methods, right? So now, while technology comes with its convenience and provides those options to the customers, what organizations grapple with are the fallouts of technology, right? With huge amount of growth comes these concerns around security, comes these concerns around data security, right? So I think that's where a lot of these fintechs have been grappling with and have found, are kind of deploying solutions on, right? So I think one very large area where which is a challenge, and of course an area to focus on for fintechs, is this area of building data governance, the area of building security governance, and the right frameworks to kind of make sure that growth doesn't come at the cost of breaches, right? So there are multiple methodologies out there, right from the start of customer onboarding, which is around digital identity, to preventing threats on devices. So it's a long journey. So the whole area of security and data security per se is a very large area within fintech, and there are so many organizations that have fintech organizations themselves as created as businesses within the digital identity and the security domain. And what we have seen within the banking and the fintech industry is a lot of partnerships that are kind of driving growth, right? So for companies, doing one part of the fintech value chain, partnering with another, organization which is on the security side of things, is kind of helping to take things forward. So collaboration, particularly in the financial services and fintech industry, has been a driving force to make sure that the growth is happening in a nice and secure way. So that said, that's one of the challenges, of course, which is a challenge of any tech-led high growth, business per se. But another large challenge, like Mr. Ganesh nicely, put forth, is that of a tech-led organization, and especially, a little bit about Zaggle here. Zaggle is, a B2B fintech, positioned and primarily kind of, our products are meant for corporates and enterprises to help them digitize their spend. So we have a SaaS component to it, where we have softwares for employee reward and recognition, or channel reward and recognition, expense management systems. And on the other side, we have a financial product angle to it. So that's where the fintech piece, wherein you have multi-wallet products to kind of, so you're on the issuance side of things. to enable these, we'll say, for example, the fulfillment of a reward per se, or do tax saving mechanisms for employees like a meal wallet or a fuel wallet per se, right? So we do the fintech as well as the SaaS part of it for B2B organizations. And I think, like Mr. Ganesh said, we've kind of seen even a partner, since it's a B2B or a fintech. I think it's important to talk about partners, right? And that's where the deeper insights come from. So what we see is, for partners per se, this has been like a changing times again, right? So the need for digitization has improved by leaps and bounds, and particularly on the employee side, what we have seen, that the need for employers to frequently acknowledge employees' hard work has kind of increased. So earlier we have seen that employee recognition typically had been something like a tenure contribution, right? Like recognizing how long an employee has been with an organization, or certain periodic rewards like, say, employee of the month or employee of the quarter, stuff like that. But now with the pandemic, things have changed. While this is nice and important, but this is no longer enough, So there comes the need of more in moment, more frequent points of recognition and gratitude, right? So this is something that we have seen. And as the lines between home and work have kind of blurred for employees, so organizations need to keep evolving and to find newer ways to kind of engage and motivate its employees, right? And employees are working harder than ever to help their organization stay sound during the pandemic, right? At the same time, they are dealing with their own struggles due to the complexities of the crisis. So employees want to know they are appreciated, right? So one thing that we have seen, that while monetary rewards and gifts have seen a sharp uptick, of course, for organizations. So in terms of a multi-wallet product, we have been seeing an uptick per se in terms of how employees are rewarding their employees. But one thing that we have seen is the need for this kind of platforms, right? So the SaaS piece that we sell to employers is where we have a particular solution called Propel, which is more an employee recognition software, and it's a part of a SaaS suite of products. That vertical is growing like really, really strong for us, because what we are seeing is it's kind of addressing the challenge for workplace recognition, right? So with elements of gamification, with elements of social engagement, with elements of instant recognition, polls per se, the demand for this has kind of gone up a lot amongst employers. So what's a challenge for employers? They are kind of being able to turn it into an opportunity to recognize their employees. So that's something that we've kind of seen very closely per se. I think across the board, what we have seen amongst partners is a rapid digitization of spends, and it's kind of helped Zaggle's product suite immensely. But like said earlier, with growth comes the concerns of security, comes the concern of building the right frameworks, building the right teams, building the right governance, so that it doesn't come at a cost, right? That's from my side, Professor Sumit, and over to you.